Hey guys, welcome back to Harrison's Favorites. It is currently week 12 already. The season's about almost over. College football playoffs pretty soon. And yeah, I didn't really agree with the rankings. I feel like Penn State at 4 is kind of crazy because they only lost one game, but they have beaten 0 ranked teams. So I feel like it's not that good. So I feel like they shouldn't be in top 4, but yeah, I think the rankings were not that good. I feel like some teams should have been higher. I feel like Georgia should have been probably in there instead of out, but yeah, so let's get into our predictions. Our first game is Northwestern and Ohio State. This is going to be a blowout. Ohio State is definitely going to beat Northwestern, so I'm taking Ohio State. Our next game is Texas and Arkansas. I thought Ole Miss at Arkansas would be a close game, and Ole Miss won by like 40 points, and then Texas just destroyed Florida by like 50. I don't know how this game's gonna go. It's gonna be close or it's gonna be a blowout. I think it might be a blowout, but I'm gonna take Texas to win at Arkansas. And the next game is Colorado and Utah. Wow, that Utah BYU game, I did not get to watch it because I had to go to sleep because I was in Atlanta, but now we're in Nashville, and I didn't get to watch it, but I woke up and I saw the clips, and I think it was a little rigged. I feel like Utah should have won that game. I kind of got lucky with that one because the refs kind of gave BYU the win there, but Colorado's been on fire. They didn't look very good in that first quarter against Texas Tech, but their offense was pretty good in that second half, so they've been playing pretty good, so I'm going to take Colorado at home. Our next game is Clemson and Pitt. This is going to be interesting because Pitt has lost their last 2 games, and Clemson's been playing really bad too. They barely beat Virginia Tech, and they lost to Louisville the week before, so I don't know. I just feel like Pitt's not going to bounce back, and I feel like Clemson's going to win this one. But I could see Pitt winning, because they're at home, but I think I'm going to take Clemson to win. And our next game is Tulane and Navy. This time it's Tulane that's ranked, and Navy is the home team, but they're unranked. So this is going to be a pretty good game. Navy was ranked a few weeks ago. They were undefeated and they lost. I think they lost to Notre Dame and they lost to Rice. Tulane's been playing really good ever since they lost to Oklahoma. And this is gonna be a good game, honestly. I think it could go either way, but I feel like Tulane's on fire right now, so I'm gonna take Tulane. Our next game is Alabama and Mercer. This is Mercer is 9-1, but it's Alabama at home, so I'm easily gonna take Alabama to win. Our next game is Penn State and Purdue. This should be a solid. Purdue's 1-8, so this probably shouldn't be a close game, but yeah, Penn State will probably win by a lot, but Penn State I think is fraudulent, so it might be a little close, people think, but Penn State will win probably by like 30 points. And our next game is Notre Dame and Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech just got that upset win against Pitt. I was not expecting that at all. And Notre Dame's just destroyed Florida State last week, so I'm easily taking Notre Dame to beat Virginia. And our next game is SMU and Boston College. SMU right now, they're looking really good, and right now it looked like Miami and Clemson were gonna probably face each other in the conference championship, but right now SMU is undefeated in conference play, and it looks like SMU has a really good shot to win the ACC. If they can go out and win, and even if they lose to Miami, they could maybe still get a playoff spot, because one loss, and that one loss is, I'm pretty sure, to BYU, which is right now undefeated. So I feel like that's a really good resume. Their schedule's a little weak, but I feel like SMU has a really good shot to make the playoffs. But they probably have to get that bid to make it. Honestly, I think their chances are going to be a little less likely without winning out and winning the conference championship. But SMU's definitely got a legitimate shot to make college football playoffs. So I'm going to take SMU against Boston College. And our next game is Louisville and Stanford. Louisville's been playing really good. They were playing good at the beginning of the season, and started to lose. The SMU loss didn't look good, but now it looks better for them. And then had that upset against Clemson. They've been playing pretty good recently, so I'm gonna take Louisville for sure. And our next team is LSU and Florida. I mean, both teams just got absolutely destroyed. Florida got destroyed by Texas, and LSU. I picked LSU because it was Death Valley, but Alabama just came in there and just destroyed LSU. But it is a rivalry game, so you never know what happens, and it's at the Swamp. But I think LSU is definitely going to win. I just don't think Florida has enough players, honestly, to beat LSU. So I'm going to take LSU to beat Florida. Our next team is Missouri and South Carolina. That Missouri-Oklahoma game was so sad. We had it too. Now we're probably not going to make a bowl game because we get to play against Alabama and LSU. Those are our last two games, so we're probably not going to make a bowl game this year. But South Carolina, on the other hand, has been playing really good football, and their head coach didn't want them to get ranked because he wanted them to stay as underdogs, which is pretty funny. But Missouri honestly didn't even play that good. We just played worse than them, so it's basically whose offense was worse. Our offense was definitely worse than Missouri's, but we got a scoop and score, and then they got a scoop and score. It's kind of basically how it happened. It was basically just repeated. We scored a touchdown, and then about like 2 plays later, we got a scoop and score. They scored. About 3 plays later, they got a scoop and score. But the thing is, their scoop and score was to take the lead. Ours was to take the lead, but theirs was after they scored to tie up the game. So, yeah, it was crazy. But South Carolina, I think, will easily beat Missouri. I think Missouri is pretty fraudulent, so I'm going to take South Carolina to win. And our next game is Boise State and San Jose State. This could be an interesting game, but I like Ashton Chinchi and Boise State to win. And our next game is Kansas State and Arizona State. This is going to be a very competitive game. Arizona State has been playing really good. They're 7-2. Kansas State has been playing that good recently. They lost to Houston. I'm pretty sure last week they had a bye week, I think. So, very interesting game. I think if it was at Arizona State, I think I would have taken Arizona State, but I just feel like I can trust Kansas State more to win this game, so I'm going to take Kansas State. And our next game is Oregon and Wisconsin. This is, number 1 team against Wisconsin. This is at Camp Randall Stadium at Wisconsin, night game. Should be interesting, but I just don't think Wisconsin has the offense to keep up with Oregon. So I'm going to take Oregon to stay undefeated and keep that number 1 spot. So I'm taking Oregon. Our next game is the game of the week, Tennessee and Georgia. Great rivalry. This is going to be a great game. Both teams haven't been playing great offensively. Last week, I thought Georgia, after that pick at the beginning of the game against Ole Miss, I thought, oh man, Georgia's about to go crazy on Ole Miss, and then all of a sudden, Ole Miss just didn't stop, and yeah, Carson Beck, honestly, is the problem for Georgia. If they had a better quarterback, Georgia would probably be undefeated right now. So, but Tennessee's offense, they've been kind of struggling against bad teams, and that's kind of concerning, and they're playing at Georgia. So I think Georgia's going to be bounced back, and they know that this is a must-win game for Georgia, because if they lose this game, Georgia will be out of the college football playoff, because that'll be 3 conference losses. So that'll most likely take them out. So, and right now they're not projected to beat, and they're projected to be the first team out, so they basically have to win out. And I don't think Tennessee's going to make it, because I just don't know. Tennessee's offense hasn't been very good, and their defense has been great, though. Their defense has won them many games, but their offense has been a little concerning. I just feel like Georgia just has a little bit more on offense than Tennessee, so I feel like Georgia's going to win this game barely. And our next game is Texas A&M and New Mexico State. This should be a blowout. I'm taking Texas A&M, no question. And our next game is Washington State and New Mexico. Right now, Washington State can maybe get a bid because if Boise State ends up basically, if Boise State if they can win the Mountain Western Conference and get that top 4 bid, that means that a different conference champion can get that 12th seed. And one thing is, Washington State can't win a conference because they're in the Pac-2, but they can maybe sneak in there, maybe. But because I mean, Washington State's only loss is to Boise State, so I don't think they can get in, but they definitely have to win out. I think their strength of schedule will determine if they make the college football playoff. I don't think they will make it, but I do think they'll win out all their games. So I'm gonna take Washington State to beat New Mexico. And our last game of Week 12 is Kansas and BYU. I mean, Kansas is kind of playing good right now. They just beat Iowa State pretty badly, and BYU barely beat Utah. I mean, that was a crazy game, and you know, this could be definitely a sneaky game. I feel like Kansas could I think Kansas is going to keep this one super close, but I just think BYU, their offense, I think it's going to be an offensive battle, but I think BYU is going to win barely. So, yeah, it's going to be a very good game. Well, that's it for Week 12. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, and make sure to keep those horns down. Bye.